Hello, online crew. Let's have a good chat today about fake accounts, cloned accounts, scammers, all the things, because I've certainly had my fair share of that in the last 7 days. So I just wanted to have a chat with you about that so you can be on alert, know what to do if this sort of comes up for you, sort of the avenues that you can take if things come up for you. And don't be naive to the fact that, it won't happen to you, because it's happening more and more and more and more. So it's something that we need to be really aware of. And if you haven't been following along with my journey in the last less than 7 days, someone has taken a lot of my personal profile photos and created a fake personal profile account with all my photos. They did a slight variation on my name. She called herself, or who knows whether it's a male or female behind it, but Helena Martina. But it's all my photos, my personal photo as the profile picture, etc. And then just in the last couple of days, or last few days, somebody's cloned my business account, which some of you might be watching live from. So I just want to talk about, how that arises, how it happens, and what happens if it happens to you. Because the more that you're on social media, if you're building a business on social media, there is a whole army of people that just, this is what they do. And they capitalize on the relationships and the friendships that you've got with people and infiltrate those. And on a business account, if you've got a larger following, so I've got 18,000 people on my business page, they're trying to capitalize their, business with my influence and my following. So it is something that you want to be sort of aware of. So I thought it would be handy to talk about today. If you are watching live with me or catching the replay, let me know if this has happened to you. I would love to know if you've been subjected to any kind of scamming or cloned accounts or a fake account using your photograph. I'd love to know if this sort of has been something that you've experienced. If not, then at least by listening to this discussion, you can be aware of some of the things that come up and sort of what to do about it. So if you're here with me live as well, say hello. And I just realized I've forgotten to go live on Instagram. That's all right. I'll share this live. I just flew in last night. It's what is it now? It's Thursday morning in my part of the world. We only got home about 10:30 last night. I had a couple of hours of work to do, so I haven't unpacked my bag. I haven't done half the things that I thought I was going to do because we had a 4-hour plane delay yesterday. We just went away for 4 days with the family, but had an absolute ball. So not quite in routine yet, but that's all about to change as of this week. I'm back in my seat now, back from holidays, ready to rock and roll. How are you feeling about the new year? Are you ready to get going? Have you already been going? Have you been enjoying some downtime and ready to get back into the swing of things for 2023? Let me know. So before we go into this content, actually, if you are one of my coaching community members, I just finished a training for you guys on how to successfully set your goals and an action plan for 2023. Please listen to the recording of that training. I also gave you notes to the process that I use. So this is a process that I use that works for me quite well. And I walked you through that process and I provided you with notes as well. So that's all sitting in the coaching community for those of you that are coaching community members, and the replay will be emailed out shortly as well. And if you missed Clubhouse yesterday, that was all on actions and activities that you might choose to do differently this year to get better results. So listen to that as well. So let's have a chat about that. Let me say hello to a few people first. We've got Cherie. How are you? Good to see you on live. Hello, Christina. Great to see you here. We've got Deborah. Oh no, yes, it happens, Christina. Hello, Tina. Great to see you here. Hi, Helen. Oh no, more stuff. Yes, fun and games. It's happened a few times to you. So what's the outcome of that been, Cherie? Any major ramifications? It's happened to me on Instagram. Instagram is a common one. I'll talk about Instagram as well. Tony's been cloned. Yes, because I received that. They just used a slightly different spelling in your name. That was only a couple of months ago, wasn't it, Tony? That's terrible. Oh gosh, I have no criminal mind. Don't think of those crazy things that can happen. Well, they do. And I've been around for a while. Yeah, 4 hour delay was fun. They had a computer issue on the plane. So instead of getting us all off the plane, it was delayed initially. We were sitting in the terminal. Then we all got on the plane. We were about to go on the tarmac. And then we sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there. And it's like, what's going on here? And then we came back into the terminal because they said one of their computers wasn't working. So instead of getting all of us off, they brought their engineers on to reset the computer in the cockpit while we all sort of sat on the plane and waited. So it was a long delay. We got home very late. But we are home safe, and that's the main thing. Christina is ready to get going for 2023. Yes, new year, going to be a great year. That coaching community training was amazing. Thank you, Christina. You have to go and watch. Hello, Melanie. Good to see you on. Tony, yeah, to your cloned personal profile. So let me share with you sort of my experience. Instagram, I don't know if you guys will remember this if you've been around me for a while, but it was actually on my 50th birthday earlier last year. I was like literally on my birthday. Paul and I were in a 5-star villa up in the Riverland, absolutely beautiful, sitting there. We were just chilling out, watching some TV or something. And somebody that I knew, well, I thought I knew, sent me a message and said, hey, can you help me? Now, it was from a profile, a name that had been hacked, but I didn't realize that. So it was because it was from somebody that I knew. I said, sure, what's up? And they're like, I'm having a problem with my Instagram. Now, at the time, I was doing an Instagram Reels challenge. So I just immediately thought, oh, they're trying to get going for the Reels challenge and they're having a problem with Instagram, so I'll help them. About 10 messages in, I'm like, hang on. This doesn't sound like this person. And I know this person's from the US, and it'd be about 3 o'clock in the morning in the US at the moment. And so I stopped. Luckily, I did, because it was a fake account. It was somebody in Dubai trying to get into my Instagram, and they almost got me because it was so real. So you'll tell if it's not real because they don't use your name. There's no real personal conversation. It's very clinical, the conversation. Can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like, it's very very generic and like no real emotion. And I even said to the person, something about tomorrow or something. I said, oh, it's actually my 50th birthday today. Like I'm not really working at the moment or something like that. And that person completely ignored that comment and asked me another question to get into their Instagram account. And I thought, that's really weird. I know this person quite well. Surely they would say, oh, happy birthday. I'm so sorry to bother you on your birthday. Like, wouldn't you normally say that if it's somebody's kind of big birthday? And that I'm like, doesn't sound right. And eventually I found out. So I just stopped all communication, and then it came, are you there? Are you there? What are you doing? Why won't you answer me? I need that code. Are you there? Are you there? And it just kept coming. And I'm like, oh. So thankfully I did, like I could have ended up with a huge issue there. But language is really important on Instagram, okay? The other thing I want to warn you guys of, because that happens on Facebook and Instagram as well, if you ever receive a message in Messenger from somebody saying, is this you, with a link? Or is this your face on, and it's a link to a YouTube clip? If you ever receive messages like that are just a one-liner, even if it's from somebody you know, if it just says, is this you, and there's a link to it, or, is this you on YouTube or something like that, massive, massive trigger, guys. They're scams. So somebody's got into somebody's account because they've clicked on a link, and then it goes out to everybody in their friends list. And if you click on that account, then it's going out to everybody in your account, and everyone's being targeted and hacked. Okay. And I've had people in my network marketing team that's happened to, and you just can't get it back. You got to start again. And that can impact personal profile and business accounts as well. So just be more aware. That's why I'm talking about it. Be more aware of, even if it's from somebody you know. And I've had to say to people, when somebody sent me a link with no wording on it, like, hi, Helen, can you check this out? Or, hi, Helen, I thought you might like to see this, and it's just a link. I'll message them and go, hey, whoever, I'm just checking that what you've sent me is actually legitimate because, I've been scammed before by just clicking links with no description, and I'm just wondering if this is actually from you. Like I'll go and ask them, and some people say, "Yeah, I thought you might like to see this because," I was like, "Oh, okay, no worries, just checking." Like you've got to be on high alert when it comes to Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so that's one thing. So there are very clever people out there. So if somebody's messaging you and it seems a little bit odd, your intuition's like, oh, I'm not sure if this is really Helen or something like that, then definitely don't click on any links for starters, because then you're just getting caught in the system and all your friends will get hacked from there. So, and if that happens to you, go and change your password immediately and go and put the two-factor authorization on, change your password immediately. So that's those issues. What's happened to me in the last week is somebody set up a personal profile with the name Helena Martina or something similar to that. But they've gone to my personal profile and taken photos from even well over a year ago. Like last New Year's Eve, not this New Year's Eve, just gone, the one before. We had COVID then, and we weren't allowed to have more than 10 people in a household. So, and it's summer in Australia when we have New Year's Eve. So we went down to the beach and we had a few friends on the beach, and it was a beautiful sunset. Like it was just perfect weather. It was amazing. They've used those photos. So they've scrolled back my personal profile from over a year ago and taken photos of me having a great time with my friends. They've also deliberately gone and taken photos of me speaking on stage in Vegas. So that's obviously a credibility thing. If they can show photos of somebody standing on stage, speaking on stage, it's they're probably banking on the fact if somebody sees photos of somebody speaking on stage, then they've probably got some credibility. So they've been very strategic about the photos that they've taken. But what they do from there is then they connect with people that are in my friends list. My friends list is locked down, but they can still find people that I'm connected to. The only way I found out about that is because a friend was kind enough to let me know, hey, this person just messaged me. They've got all your photos. They've got a very similar to name as yours, and they're messaging me to connect with me. And that's the only way I found out. So my number one sort of tip around all of this is we have to look after each other. In relation to seeing fake profiles, questioning something that's not legitimate, getting a message from somebody you know but you think it's a bit weird, seeing a comment from somebody, like if you saw a comment from me and you thought, Helen wouldn't do something like that, that seems a bit weird, contacting me and letting me know. That's the only way I've found out about the fake personal profile and the cloned business page. So the cloned business page was actually somebody in our coaching community. A member of the coaching community saw it, let one of our online crew concierge team know, and she brought it to my attention. And it's exactly my business page, my name. It only started, so a couple of days ago, it was one day. So they'd only created it the day before. But just completely cloned my business page. But what happens when they do that by creating that, they were then putting comments on my business page. So to you, it would look like it's me promoting crypto and finance and stuff like that. So you would think it's me promoting that because it's my profile picture, because they've cloned my profile picture. So this is what I'm saying. If you see a comment from somebody that you know, Helen wouldn't normally do something like that or put a post out like that. And that's exactly what one of our coaching community members did. Like, is this legitimately Helen? Or clicked on the profile and it went to a business account that was only created the day before, but cloned all my information. The only difference is that the category that they put instead of entrepreneur was financial service. So they didn't look at that. So the person that knew me was able to pick up, this is a fake account. Then they alerted, our concierge team member, who alerted me, and it goes from there. So the only way that I found out, the Instagram one was somebody was messaging me directly, okay, and thankfully I got myself out of that one. The Facebook personal profile and the Facebook business page only came from people I know saying, hey, I think this is a problem. So look out for each other. It's really important, because the quicker you can report those kind of pages and profiles, the better. Now, here's the thing with the personal profile. This really makes my skin crawl in relation to how Facebook handle this. But in a relation to a personal profile, if you report the profile itself, but it's not, what's the words that they use? Harmful. If it's not harmful or dangerous or against community standards, like if it's not saying anything, like it's not about nudity or politics or religion or something, like it's not harming anybody, they won't take the page down. So thankfully, when I put that out on my personal profile, a number of you reported it, but you all got the same response back, and so did I. There's nothing against our community standards. We're not removing this personal profile. So I'm kind of stuck with this person out there presenting themselves as me. My picture is a profile picture. So sometimes there's not a lot that can be done. But what you can do is report the photographs. So when you come across something that's fake, you can go to that person's sort of profile or business page, you click the three dots and you can report it. When you report it, it gives you different options of what you're reporting on. So the personal profile example was reporting on the actual profile itself. And what Facebook was saying is there's nothing against our community standards. It's not harmful. It's not damaging in any way. And it's like, well, they're taking my identity. Is that not harmful? Is when there's photographs that somebody's used that somebody else's, is you've actually got to go to the actual post with the photos, not the profile itself. Do you see the difference? Like you can report a profile or you can report an actual post with photographs on it. So what Facebook are saying is that they're not harming anybody, so we're not going to take their profile down, but if they're using photos they shouldn't be using, then report the actual post itself that's got the fake photos. So that's one thing for you guys to be aware of. The business page is actually a little bit simpler. So when you go to report, so you go to the business page profile that's fake or cloned, whatever, you go to three dots and you report it. One of the questions come up saying, is this person is pretending to be somebody else? When you click on that, then you can actually put the URL of the person that they're copying. So in my case, somebody else has got my photograph, my exact branding, my exact name. By report, I'm not sure if that's taken down yet, but we can give them the URL of my business page and Facebook can see that it's a cloned account. So you've got to follow the processes through. The other thing I would recommend you do is that you put something out like I have on your personal profile saying, hey, heads up, this has happened, this is frustrating, it is what is, and let your network know so they are aware of these kind of things. Okay, so don't hide behind it or, shy away from it. If you see something that you think is odd, let the person know. If it happens to you, then put it out on your social media so you can let your network know so they can be on more alert to report things if they continue to come up. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm just checking some of your comments here. Not really, but they were on Instagram and Facebook. I was able to report it and several people told me they thought someone was pretending to be me. So that's when you ask people to report it. Hey, Silverline, how are you? Good to see you on. We got Melanie here as well. I had one yesterday who kept asking for my Cash App tag over and over. I blocked them and notified them. Yeah, just block people. But this is the other thing. You don't want to block unless you've reported first. Because once you block, you can't go back. Well, you can go and unblock people that you've blocked. But the first time it came up and I found the person's profile, we deleted the comment. And then it was like, oh, now I can't go back and find their profile to report it until it came up again. So just be really careful with your processes. You want to report first and think carefully about whether you're blocking initially. In that example, Cherie, absolutely block. But don't block before you've reported people. Just a heads up with that. Thanks for sharing. Those bad are getting more and more aggressive. I suspect everything. Yeah, we don't. It's sad, isn't it? Because we don't want to live in a world where we're suspicious with people we connect with in social media. But you do need to check people's profiles. You do need to be careful. And if something doesn't seem above board with somebody, then just do your research and just take a little bit more time with who you're communicating with. Melanie, I have a question. Sure. What's your question? Just put it in the comments there. Very true. It's happened to my other friends. I messaged them and let them know someone was impersonating them as well. And I'm incredibly grateful for the people that let me know that this was happening. Otherwise, I would be none the wiser. Okay. I check all profiles that try to connect with me. If I notice the profile was just created days, weeks, it's out. If the profile is completely locked, that's another red flag for me. Can't connect with anyone. I can't see much about them. Yeah, really good points there. The other thing that I would really have high alert to in how you can check with what's a fake account or a cloned account is the time frame that they created it. So if you go and look at the profile, whether this is Instagram or whether this is over on Facebook, if they've got Instagram is rife for this, is people will create 10 or 20 posts all on the one date. That's how you can tell a fake account. So there are a lot of fake accounts of high profile people. Unfortunately, they just have to put up with it. Like there can be, 5 or 10 fake accounts to somebody who's really, really high profile. How I can tell, and sometimes they follow me and send me a message, and it looks like the high profile person because they've got thousands of followers, and they've managed to get followers really quickly by using the profile of somebody else. But if I go and scan, if I'm like, I'm wondering if this is the real legit person, because that person probably wouldn't be messaging me. Like I'm small fry compared to them. I'll go and check their Instagram feed, and if there's multiple posts all on the one day, it's definitely a fake account. Okay. Same with Facebook. If you look back when the account was created, like if it was created like the business page one that's cloned my business page, that when I looked at that, 2 days ago, it was set up the day before. So it had only been set up like for one day. Like if I was commenting on something of yours from my business page profile and you thought, oh, that's a weird comment from Helen, but you clicked on my profile and saw that there's no followers and it was only created a day ago, you definitely know it's not me. Okay, so they're the things to look for. Go and, follow through and look on the profiles of the people. And if they've got multiple posts on the one date, or it's a very recent, like a week or, only a month or something like that, they're generally the fake accounts. Okay. Yes, Melvet's been scammed too within minutes of each post. Yeah. I look at I look at the date to see when the last day they've been on Facebook. And some people don't post all the time, so they it may not be that they're recent, but if you see a whole lot of posts posted on the same day, I mean, who does that? If you go, like I posted some photos this morning of the family trip that we just got back from last night. All the photos are in one post. I don't post single posts, all on the one day. So if you see that somebody's posting a lot of photographs and the date is the same, that's pretty much guaranteed it's a fake account. So I'm just checking my notes because I brainstormed while I was on the plane of all the things I wanted to warn you guys about. So I'm just looking here. Said that. Screenshot everything. So if it's, that's how I got alerted to it from the people. They've screenshotted it and sent it to me going, hey, look at this profile, or the person's comment, about the crypto stuff that was not me. They've screenshot it and sent it to me. So anything that is before you go blocking anybody and you're doing a little bit of investigation, or if it's somebody that that you think is a bit weird, just screenshot everything so it can be found again. Okay. It's the little, like knowing the cloned account for my business page, it said financial service. So that's a really good clue on, how to find that person again. So screenshot anything that you think is out of sorts. And I've got one last comment. There are a lot of people I've noticed. So I've put 2 posts out in the last week, one about somebody imitating me on my personal profile and also cloning my business page. There are a lot of people that come out of the blue. I don't know if you've seen these, that they, even though it's a Facebook thing, but and they're people I've never heard from before. And it's like, contact such and such a person on Instagram. They help people identify fake accounts and can get you out of trouble and blah, 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 blah. So I just hide those. I don't know who they are. Sometimes I follow them through and I'll block them. But there seems to be a lot of spammers picking up on people that have been spammed, and directing them to somebody who's not legit. Did you understand that? So just if you put something out on your profiles warning people, I think I've been scammed, or I've been hacked, this is what it looks like. That's why you want the screenshots as well, to show other people what it looks like. I did that with both of mine in the last week. And then if you get the comments that go, oh, I've had this issue before, follow up with this person on Instagram, and it's got a link. It's got a link to it. People are vulnerable in those situations, and they'll often click on those links because they're in trouble. They think somebody's being nice, helping them, to resolve the issue, where it's just more spam. Okay, so just keep an eye out on that. I hope you never go through this. I hope you never have, and you never will. But I wanted to talk about it today to give those of you that have not been in this situation before. It's happened a lot. Like, we're not even 2 weeks into 2023, and both my personal profile and my business page have been compromised in the first 2 weeks of 2023. Not only that, my website has as well. We've dealt with that and cleaned that up. But it's been an interesting entry into 2023. Just don't let it get the better of you. Don't get stressed about it. Just don't click on any links that you don't know what they are, because the consequences of that is you could lose everything and you have to start again. Okay, so let's be diligent and alert, but not panic and not get, overwhelmed. Just be cluey to these things that I've shared with you in this live, so you can manage it the best way that you can. Okay, so I hope that's helpful in some way. I hope it's never an issue that you have to deal with, but if you do, that'll just give you a little bit more information to hopefully help you through it. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow live, but I will be live 2 hours earlier than I normally am, because I'm hosting a webinar for somebody. So I will see you then. Bye.